welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Danger Pack Dino Trackers Ornithocheirus. So let's start the review. First, let's look at the packaging, which we have blue and beta in the top corner. Nice ocean-y background with the shores biome. Ornithocheirus. Then on the back we have the other figures, the Boreal Pelto, Velociraptor, Ornithocheirus, and the Pyroraptor. And I also saw the Velociraptor there, it's another Velociraptor, so it's not really needed. And they also have the Dino Trackers app right there. But anyways, let's get this figure out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, so I've gotten out the packaging. Now let's take a closer look. First, let's start with the sculpt, which it has a beautiful head, though it is missing teeth for some reason, which is very strange, because literally the Pteranodon, they gave teeth. The Tapejara, they gave teeth. Those pterosaurs literally have no teeth. But as soon as they get to Ornithocheirus, you know the pterosaur are known for having a bunch of sharp teeth. They give it no teeth, which is very confusing. But maybe they didn't want to do it since a lot of people made fun of the Sanastropheus that came out, and they would have probably had teeth like that. But it still does look good. Then it has some light feathering on the top. Well, probably pigno fibers. Then we have some pretty decent detailing on the wings. They have scars on the top of them. They're a nice yellow color at the end of the tips of them. Some very detailed feet. And a little bit of feathering on the chest. And some more scarring on the other side of the wings, and some nice wrinkly textures as well. But that's about it for the detailing. Let's move on to articulation, which the head can move down and up, very far up. Then the jaws can open, like I showed earlier. Very wide, though. Then the wings can go pretty much all the way down and all the way up to here. And then the legs are also articulated, which they're kind of on the same joint, but at the same time you can somewhat move them differently. Well, independently, but I don't think they're supposed to be able to do that, but they move as one joint, which I'm not a big fan of for most pterosaurs, but it can sit down like this. And last but not least, I think it has a little bit of a swivelly tail, but that's really not needed since it has a really short tail. Here's the scan code for if anyone needs it. See if I can get a little bit better angle on that. But anyways, here it is. So if any of you guys need it, just trying to hard to get with the shadow of the like covering here. But there it is for if you guys need it for Jurassic Facts app, though it is not in the Jurassic Facts app yet, so you guys cannot scan it yet. But yeah, there is the Ornithocheirus. Let's move on to the size comparisons. So let's start with the height of this figure since it barely has any. It's about 1 inch in height. Then the wingspan of this figure is about 8 inches. It does feel like a little bit smaller of a pterosaur, though Ornithocheirus would have been a bit bigger of a pterosaur. And then for length, it's about 6 inches. So there you go for the Ornithocheirus. Now let's actually compare it to a few things. First, let's start with the Sungopterus and Tupandactylus, which the Tupandactylus is very similar in size, well, wingspan. Let me adjust my camera first. But here is it compared to the other figures, which the Tapejara is Tupandactylus is a bit larger than the Ornithocheirus, and the Sungopterus being a little bit smaller. I don't know about the pterosaurs for this year, but all the wings feel very short, and they're all kind of similar shaped. And the wings are a little bit shorter than I would expect for this year. But anyways, let's also compare it to here's it compared to all the other pterosaurs, which it's pretty much the same size as the rest of them. It's a little bit bigger than Dimorphodon, though slightly smaller than Pteranodon. And also a bit bigger than Tapejara. Last but not least, let's compare it to the Quetzalcoatlus, which the Quetzalcoatlus is absolutely enormous compared to it, with its wingspan being about double the size of the Ornithocheirus, and the length being almost triple. Well, here's it compared to the other shore biome creatures and, well, Owen, but these two are in the same range, and, well, were shown together, and we thought that they were going to be in the same lineup, along with Boreal Pelta and the very colorful Pyroraptor and, well, that Velociraptor, which I do not have those other two raptors, but here are these figures with it. Just for a frame of reference, the Pyroraptor is the same sculpt as this Pyroraptor, so here's the Pyroraptor compared to it, just more colorful, the one that released in this wave. And then this one is the same sculpt and size as the other Velociraptor that just came out, but it's greener. I like this pattern much better, and I don't need more Velociraptors, so yeah. So for my final thoughts on this figure, it's a pretty nice figure. Honestly, if you're a really big fan of Ornithocheirus, I don't know if you guys would like this, mainly due to the fact he's missing one of the most defining characteristics of Ornithocheirus, well, the teeth. But besides this, it looks pretty good. Also, I wish it could be a bit bigger, well, quite a bit bigger. Maybe close to the size of the Pteranodons, but the ones that make sound, it would have fit in much better being in that size range, so it could have been a much bigger pterosaur. And they probably would have been able to put teeth on it without it looking super weird. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. I'll put some links to this in the description if I can. And goodbye.